Hello and welcome. This is a conversation with Musa Wa Laikipia. What is happening to our generation and how did we get here really? Who can we blame and who has failed? Is it the parents? Is it the church? Is it the government? Is it the teachers? Or have we all lost our minds as a society? The events that are happening of late are not something that we can just look and be quiet. It has been said that if you're not affected, you will be infected. And if it is not happened to you today, it will happen to you soon. And if your family or friends have never gone through some of these things, be thankful. If you have never gone through some of these things that I'm going to mention today, then be thankful. But do not forget, this may come to your family or to you as an individual very soon. Ask yourself, what is Musa Wa Laikipia talking about? Waking up, killing all your parents, both your parents, killing your brothers and sisters, killing a nephew, and killing everybody in the house? Does that ring a bell in your mind? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Allegedly, it has been said that a young man woke up in Kiambu and killed everyone. It is not something that we can just keep quiet and not talk about. Do you think that this young man woke up one day and thought of killing everyone in the family? I don't think so. This must have been a build-up for some time, which was either ignored and probably thought that it was a non-issue until it got out of hand. Just before the dust settles on that one, we hear of another young man who kidnapped himself in Meru County, a Form 2, Form 3 student. And the reason to kidnap himself was that he wanted his parents to send money so that he can buy some new clothes for himself. How do we get here as a society? And the very many questions are ringing in my mind. Had this young man requested his parents, and what was the response? Did the parents even listen? Was there any form of communication between the teenager and the parents? What is happening to the Generation Z, the young people that were born in the 90s and beyond? What is happening? And how do we solve this puzzle as a society? We cannot just sit down and wait and see what is happening. Listen to the radios and televisions every day. There must be a young person who killed himself somewhere. There must be someone who is killing someone. There must be some evil things that are happening. There are so many teenage pregnancies. How did we get here as a society? Like I said before, I am calling for a sober conversation. I'm calling for a round table. And we must get into this conversation with openness of the mind. All is not right. And there is no way a young man can wake up one day and wipe all his family, including a very innocent soul who could not have known what was happening. If there was a dispute between the young man and the family or the parents, I don't think the young son in the family understood what was going on. Some of these things we have not seen in our society apart from the movies. And yes, the young man said that he learned what he did from the movies. See, there is one of the problems that we have in our society. It has been said that we are what we consume. And the question that gets into my mind is, do we have enough time to teach our children to make the right decisions? In psychology, they say, whatever you teach your son or daughter between 1 year and 12 years, they will never forget. And therefore, if we taught them to consume such kind of material, they will make their own decisions after 13 years. Have we encouraged and cultivated a culture of dialogue between us and our children, between us and our teenagers? Or we are still in the generation where children know nothing? I want to challenge us. As a youth mentor for over 12 years now, I can tell you for a fact, parents who are listening to me today, it is not what you think. They know more than you think. And therefore, these are not the times that you put off a child. When a child trying to speak to you, when a teenager is trying to speak to you, you tell them they know nothing. They know a lot. Even if you don't dialogue with them, they are going to Google. They are going to see those movies. And things will be even bad. Parents, you have a piece of blame. And yes, I know we have had this conversation very many times, and I have been accused that I'm very harsh on parents. Yes, whom else do you want me to blame? Of course, that is a godly given duty for you. And therefore, I'll say that parents have their blame to carry. And before you get mad, listen to this. Also the youths, they have their part of the blame to carry. And because, yes, there's parents, very many parents, a big percentage of parents are very responsible. They have brought up their sons and daughters in the right way. And therefore, some of these young people that are doing so bad things out there, they have also their blame to carry. They'll blame the company that they keep. They'll blame themselves for the drugs and substances they are using. And they will also blame themselves in liking quick fixes. For example, some young people, like in the case of the prodigal son, they are young people, 15, 16, 17, 18, they say they want some things, They see a parent has 2 cars or 3 cars. They say they want their own inheritances. They want quick fixes. And therefore, even our young people have their part of blame. And something else, ignored issues of mental health has also been preyed upon and has been ignored for a very long time. Some of these young people might be mentally unstable, depressed, but ignored. And therefore, it is time for us as a society to normalize the issues of saying it is okay not to be okay and seeking professional help. It is upon us as a society. And I'll ask the government to make these services available in a moment. Let me go to the church in a moment. It is the time that we start thinking beyond the 4 walls of our beautiful auditoriums. And I want to thank some churches that really think of how they feed their people in their mind, their souls, and also their bodies. We may be preaching to totally depressed people in our society, and is it too much to ask that once in a while we dedicate at least 30 minutes of group counseling and therapy? We call professionals, because I'm telling you the fact. Many people come to church depressed, and sometimes they're not even able to listen on what the pastor is saying because families are going through a lot. Believe it or not, some of these families that you hear that have killed each other, some of them were in church on Sunday. What does that tell you? It tells you that we have a very deep problem than we think in a society. And therefore, it is very important for us, even as a church. I am a church member. I'm a youth mentor, and I serve in a church. And I'm challenging our clergy to dedicate time to counsel our people. Families are going through a lot. And this is my opinion. It's time that we also ask our members to seek professional help. Sometimes even as you counsel biblically, you'll find that some of these issues need professional help. It is upon us as the clergy to even advise our people to seek professional help. Lastly, but not the least, the government has a role to play. And it is our responsibility to make our systems work. We have the gender counseling desk in every police station. I want to ask, does it really help? We have counseling services in hospitals. Do they work? Why am I asking this? Because we need to make these services very, reachable from the common mwananchi. If a person goes to a police station and reports, an attempted suicide, a homicide, we should sit these people down there and make counseling available for them. I'm made to understand that NHIF covers counseling, but do we have the psychiatrist that can be free in our general hospitals? What I know, that when you go for psychiatrist counseling, you always sent to the private clinics, which is not affordable. It is about 2,500 per session, and 3 sessions are recommended. That means that one is 7,500. And therefore, this is not even affordable for some of these, our people in our society. And therefore, the government must also pray its Lord. This is heavy to my heart, and we must agree there is a problem and agree to have a round table. Yesterday was in Kiambu. The young man killed all the parents and the family. Tomorrow, believe it or not, it will be where you are. It will be in Nanyuki, and it might be in your own family. And therefore, my humble submission is only 2 words. Let's talk. Let's talk. This year, we purpose to bring on this forum people that, we can have this conversation. We need the parents on board. We need the clergy on board. We need the government on board. We need the teenagers on board, because I'm telling you for a fact, we need to listen to our young people. They know more than we know. When I was growing up, some of the things that these young people of today knows, believe it or not, the young person who was born in 1990 is 31 years. You can imagine. The person who was born in 2000 is 20 years. And therefore, we need to sit this generation down on a round table. We understand them, they understand us as a society, so that tomorrow we may save a generation. Let's put a stop to this. Let's talk. This is a conversation with my mind. And this is Musa Wa Laikipia. God bless.